guys, welcome you all to my channel. It is your first time of coming to my channel. Thanks a lot. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe. So in today's video I'm going to be making a simple video on how to cut your agbada for women, okay? And this is also known as bubu, or let me know what you guys call this style in your country, okay? So I'm going to put the style here and also at the thumbnail, so let me know what you guys call this style. But I think over here, especially for the Yorubas here in Nigeria, for the Yorubas they call this agbada or something. But let me know what you guys call it and what is the general name for it in the comment section, okay? So what are the basic measurements required? Now, in order for you to achieve this style, first thing you have to take note of is your measurements. And of course, there are two ways in which you can get your measurements, and I'm going to be explaining these two ways over here. Now, the first way to get your measurements is you have your shoulder measurements and your sleeve measurements, so you add the both of them together. Now what I mean by that is this. Now I'm putting on this turtleneck top. We made this top here on this channel, okay? So you can go ahead and watch this video on how to cut this turtleneck. Let me show you guys the full style. This is what it looks like. You can see it's turtleneck and also off shoulder, and this is just like a top, so you can go ahead and make yours a gown. So this is actually beautiful. Like, you can have this turtleneck effect and you can also have this off shoulder. So I'll go ahead and put the link in the description box so you can go ahead and watch it if you want to rock something like this, okay? So back to the topic for today, which is agbada, right? Now, like I said earlier, I said there are two ways in which you can achieve your measurement. The first thing is to have your shoulder measurements and also your sleeve measurements. Now the combination of your shoulder measurements to your sleeve measurements is going to give you the length of what you are going to use. I mean by that is this. What I mean by that is this. Let me just explain. So basically, we take our shoulder measurement from the mid bone here to our shoulder bone for our shoulder measurements, right? And so for me it's about 14 inches, which when you divide by 2 you have 7 inches. Now from this part also, go ahead and take your sleeve measurement. So if you want your sleeve measurement to get up to this point, which is about 12 inches for me, you can decide to move like lower this way, maybe use 14 inches, 16 inches, you can use 22 inches. It depends on how long, it depends on how long you want it to be at this part of your sleeve. So the first thing you will do now is, so by the time you also place your measurements from your shoulder to your desired length, you are going to arrive at the same answer. So whichever one you prefer, you will still end up having the same answer, right? So don't forget to join us on Facebook, TD Designs, and on Instagram, TD Designs. I'm going to put down the details in the description box below, and you can also visit our website. We have amazing fashion illustration topics on our website. All the details are going to be in the description box below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe. In the course of this video, if you have any question, feel free to drop it in the comment section. And if you have any topic you want us to make a video on, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. And of course, I'm going to be so happy to put up such video. And I hope you guys are loving this top, guys. This is actually beautiful. So go ahead and watch this and rock this, and you also look beautiful. So let's move straight to the topic, guys. Now at this point, now you've determined which method you prefer, either taking your measurement directly from your shoulder to your sleeve length or adding your sleeve length to your shoulder measurement. At this point now, you've determined whichever one you prefer. So after that, the next measurements we'll need now is our top length. That is how long you want your agbada or your bubu dress to be. So that depends on you, right? But normally it's usually very long, maybe few inches above your knee. It's not like your basic regular top, which is about 22 to 24 inches, but because this is like a very long agbada, so it's usually like few inches above your knee. And some people also rock it in form of a gown, while some try to rock it with trousers. So it depends on how you want to rock yours. So now for this, now we have shoulder 14, sleeve 10, it simply means that we are going to have a total of 24 inches. Now we'll go ahead and add our sewing allowance to it, plus 2 inches, we'll have a total of 26 inches. Our top length is 34. You can see it's actually very long for like a basic top, but people rock it as a gown also. So you go ahead and add 2 inches for our sewing allowance. We have 36 inches. Now you will discover that for this we didn't make use of our waist measurements, our hip measurements, and all of that, because it's actually very simple to achieve. So now let's move straight into the fabric. So guys, I'm going to make use of these African prints, and African prints are available at our store. So the first thing we did now was to fold our fabric into 2, and then we'll go ahead and fold it again. This ahead now to fold our fabric into 4. Now I made use of my sleeve length, which is 26 inches, to fold the fabric. So we have about 26 inches at this point. So the next thing we are going to do now is we are going to mark our round sleeve, or the opening for the sleeve, right? What we'll be using for the opening of our sleeve. So I'm going to make use of about 9 inches for the opening of the sleeve. About 9 inches. So now at this point where you've kept for the opening of your sleeve, go in with about 2 inches. This is where we have 2 inches, right? So you just mark your 2 inches all the way down. So this is what we have. We just went in, but note that this part shouldn't be like, you should have a curved part. Yeah, right? So make sure you curve it at that point. Now you go ahead and mark your neckline. So for the wideness of, you can see that this style is actually very easy. So for the wideness of our neckline now, I'm going to make use of 3 inches for the wideness, while for the depth I'm going to make use of 2.5 inches, and I want a round neckline. Right, I want a round neckline, so we have 2.5 inches. But for the front block I want a keyhole neckline, so I'm going to do that once I cut this out. Now of course we have our top length also. Go ahead and mark your top length, which is 36 inches. Our top length now, so I'll go ahead and cut this out. Cutting it out, you can see what we have. You can see the curve here, so we've gone ahead to cut that out. The next thing we are going to do now is to cut out our neckline. So we've cut it out. Now we'll go ahead and open this up. For the front block now, this is our front block. For the front block now, like I said I want a keyhole neckline for my front block. So I'll go ahead now and fold. So guys, we want to have our neckline for the front block, because like I said I want a keyhole neckline. So I just folded it this way so that I can differentiate my front block from the back block. So at this point now, I will go ahead and mark an extra 1 inch for my front block. This way, this is our front block, and then I will open it up. Now the number of inches you want to open it up determine on how you want your keyhole to be. So I'm going to open it up with about 4.5 inches. It's just basically opening up. So for the front block now, what we just did here was that I went ahead and I went in with an extra inch so that my front block can be lower than the back block. So after that now, we want a keyhole neckline for our front block. I went ahead and I marked 5 inches because I want it to be deep with an extra 5 inches. So I'll just go ahead and open up this point. What it looks like. So you can see the front neckline is opened just to give us like this keyhole effect that we want for the front block. So you can take yours deeper or higher, it depends, and you can see our neckline. Now because we folded it, the way we folded it, we don't have any opening at this part, but if yours have opening, you are not actually wrong. Okay, yours can have opening and you can fold it in a way that you won't just have any joining at this part. So whichever one you use, don't be scared, you will still arrive at the same result, but it's better you fold it in a way that you have like a closed shoulder at this point. So this is what we have now. We just have our opening and you can see this part. So you can see the neck, our shoulder line, you can see our sleeve, and it just goes in. So it's actually very simple. Now another thing again, like I just want to say, is you can make your front block shorter and then your back block longer. There are some styles like that. Okay, so all you have to do if you want to achieve that is reduce the length of your front block. Let's say you have 4 inches or 5 inches, you want your front block to be shorter with about 4 inches or 5 or 6 inches. So you go ahead and reduce the front block this way and you make the back block longer. That's if you want your back block to be longer than the front block. You can also achieve that with this style. Okay, now but for me, I want the both of them to be the same. That is why I'm not tampering with this lower part of the dress, but you can determine how you want yours to be. Now another thing again we have to do now is to cut out our facing for this neckline, our facing, right? So you can make use of either your facing or your bias. It depends on what you want to achieve at the end of the day. So let me just go ahead and show you guys how to achieve that. For our facing, okay, if you are making use of facing to turn your neckline, so this is our fabric now. We've gone ahead to fold it into 2 and also into 4, just like the way we folded the basic gown, right? So now we have our gown here, and this is where we have our neckline. Go ahead and place it at this closed part also. So you go ahead and place it this way. So we've placed it, let me zoom it in. So we've placed it now. So go ahead and mark your neckline. So I'll just mark chalk where I have my neckline. Okay, so this is where we have the neckline for the back block, which we'll go ahead and cut this out. Now once you've cut it out, we will now open this up. What we have, so we'll go ahead and do the same like the way we cut out our key neckline, our keyhole for the front block, if you can remember, for the basic block also. So we'll go ahead and open it, then we'll cut out where we've chalked and the opening also. So we have opening also for the front block. We'll go ahead and open that. So by the time you open it up, this is what you are going to have. So you can see the front neckline and also the back neckline. So we'll go ahead and fold it again. So this just enables us to know like our facing. Okay, it's just for the sake of stitching your facing. So this is what we have now. Now we'll go ahead and cut it out. So you determine the kind of shape that you want and how many inches wide you want your facing to be. This way. So let's just use about 6 inches. So you can make yours like, you can achieve your facing in a 4-corner shape and you can achieve it in a round shape. Okay, but because our neckline is a round shape, let's go with the round shape also for our facing. So this is what we have. By the time you open it up, you can see the facing for the front and also the back. Okay, If your shoulder is opened here, it means that your facing also will be opened. But if you have a closed shoulder this way, you can either open your facing or you close it. It depends on what works for you. So what we are going to do now is, this is our facing now. We'll go ahead and place it this way. We'll go ahead and place it this way. We'll stitch the neckline round, and of course this is for the back one, so this is what we are going to have. So we'll go ahead and stitch the neckline now, stitch the front keyhole, stitch our neckline for our facing. Before that, you go ahead and hem this lower part of your facing so that you can have like a neat finishing. So once you are done stitching this neckline, I'll show you guys what it looks like. So guys, we've gone ahead to hem our neckline, and this is what it looks like. So the next thing you are going to do now is, where we have our round sleeve, where we left for our sleeve, go ahead and fold the tip. After folding the tip, you will now go ahead and stitch this all the way down. You will go ahead and stitch it all the way down from the inside, right? So once you are done with that, this is what you are going to have. You can see we've gone ahead to stitch it, and this is where we left for our sleeve. So you can see this is where we left for our sleeve. This is your sleeve opening, and then you've stitched it. So after that, the next thing you will do now is also to go ahead and hem the lower side of your dress, and I'll go ahead and put this on the mannequin and show you guys what it looks like.